Hello everybody, I'm doing an analysis video on Kakine Tietoku. I never know how to say his last name. But yeah, it occurred to me recently, I never did a Kakine video for whatever reason. I thought I did, and I look back, I'm like, okay, I didn't, because there's nothing, Kakine analysis video, so okay, what the heck's wrong with me? But yeah, so Kakine, he is the second level 5 of Academy City. He is also the leader of school, which is just this big organization. Or I guess gang you can call it, not really an organization. But it's comprised of, I want to say, four people that we've seen. Girl in the dress, Yombo, Sniper Girl, and the other guy no one cares about. Um, but his power is Dark Matter, which is a pretty OP ability. He can pretty much, well, when he was alive, he could just make anything, like make wings. He could put it in his body to strengthen his body. He could, I'm betting he could make anything, I'm guessing, out of it, like a sword or something. But when he reverted to Beetle 5, he could make people, he could give them powers, he could freaking do anything with it. He could just regenerate. It was freaking ridiculous. But yeah, he is one of the main, I want to say, main antagonists of the story, especially to Accelerator, which is kind of odd considering he's supposed to be a rival to Mugano, but I guess he doesn't really consider Mugano to really be anything. But yeah, he is probably the second character to ever really hurt Accelerator, give him a scratch. Next to Amada, but that quickly faded when Accelerator was like, oh, I just needed time to get your ability right, or know what's in it or whatever, or get used to it, I guess is the term for him, and he just negated it, and it kind of turned into nothing. But yeah, but I would say Kakine probably got one of the most brutal deaths in Index. He got smashed into the pavement when Accelerator was in his awakening, which is also when he awakened, supposedly, and then he got freaking turned into a stain on the pavement, just nothing but blood. Well, I don't even want to say there's nothing left. Like, this one thing I'm curious of how Index Zero handle. I'm curious how they're gonna handle that scene when Accelerator just freaking mauls him and just freaking decimates him. I'm curious to see how they handle that scene. If they'll just keep the blood or whatever. But yeah, he got torn apart. There's like nothing left. But if I'm right, later on, Economy City kind of weaponizes his dark matter from the DNA they got, and from the DNA they're able to get him like a new brain, or because I think the whole thing about behind that was that they just took some DNA, they made a brain for him or something, because there's nothing was left. I mean, come on, but yeah, he got a brain. Then he was able to remake his dark matter body completely out of his stuff, and yeah, and that's when he went on his revenge against Accelerator. But yeah, later on they kind of fought. I like the whole meaning behind this because it's sort of like Kakine as a ghost. He's like a specter coming back to haunt Accelerator. That's my interpretation of it. But yeah, in terms of his gang, but he doesn't really like I mean, he's not exactly a bad person. I mean, when he was alive, but he didn't really want to hurt innocents. Like if they like there's something just like a random person. Okay, so he's walking down the street. He's off to get some McDonald's or something. I don't know. And everyone's walking past him. No one's interfering with him. He gets his McDonald's. He heads back to his hideout. So he heads to McDonald's and someone freaking stops him. And they're like, hey, McDonald's is unhealthy for you, or something like that. He freaking kills them. He's on his way, I guess in terms of what he does, that's a good example. If someone doesn't interfere with him, he doesn't do anything. He lets them go. If someone stands in front of him, tries to stop him, he will kill that person with no hesitation whatsoever. He's that type of person. Well, honestly, whenever I think of Dark Matter, and I think, if I could compare him to anyone else, who I'd compare him to, it's just kind of a random thing, but I would compare him to Gilgamesh from the Fate series. I'd say they're about as equally as cocky. They're about as equally as Cocky doesn't view himself as worship me or something like that, but he does view himself as a pretty he wants to be number one. He wants to be the main guy, you know. But yeah, no, in those terms anyway. But in terms of like the rest of his gang, he kind of treats them as he treats them as, I'm not gonna say trash, but uh, like he just doesn't care about them. Now I guess the only exception you can make is the girl in the dress, because they kind of had a thing. I want to say like they kind of treated each other kind of nicely, considering, you know. But that may have just been because her ability is also OP. But then again, you know, her changing his thoughts into like, oh, she's my lover, she's my best friend. Maybe that wouldn't really affect him, because the dude's pretty much got a heart of stone, you know? I mean, it's like, she would betray him, she'd make him think you're his lover, and he'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna kill you anyway, you know, just because you betrayed me, and, you know, killed her. But yeah, I want to say they had a thing going on. I mean, there's no evidence to really support it, but, I mean, they're really nice to each other, because it's only natural you think they have a thing. But, yeah. So, pretty much almost every, well, the main members they see, and they're pretty much dead. Yambo got killed by Mukuno, freaking shot, and he's freaking nothing but a pile of blood. But there was this thing in the manga where it's like, whenever Kakine would get mad or something, he'd like throw up. Like he would just go, like he'd just go like in the corner and throw up. Maybe there was some kind of trauma he had with Kakine in the past or something. Like I don't think that's an actual thing. I don't think they ever did that in the novels where he just threw up somewhere. But I think that may have been just because he is afraid of Kakine. Like it was descriptively said in the novels that he's freaking terrified or whatever. But yeah, Kakine's a pretty harsh guy when you really get down to it. I mean, he's really cocky. He's freaking arrogant. Dude, like he hates Accelerator because he wants to. He knew of Alistair's plan. I don't think he knew exactly what his plan was. He may be. I think he'd be against it if he knew what it was. If Kakine, because he knew he was the second like option to Alistair's plan for, because he didn't really know what it was, but he was like, no, I want to be the first option, and so he just kind of goes and wants to kill Accelerator. He's like, I'm gonna answer to Alistair. Like, really, Kakine? You're not gonna like go into this? Like, do you even know? Like, I don't even think he knew what his plan was. Like, it's just, no, I want to be number one. No, I don't want to be I don't want to be the second option. You need to be, I want to say he didn't know, because if he did know, I'm pretty sure Kakine would not want to be a part of this, you know? But yeah, when he comes back, he has a pretty cool look. He has Beetle 5 version of Kakine, people call him. Sorry, I'm trying to think back to one. Okay, so when he came back, Accelerator him fought. He did immense research on Accelerator's wings. They fought. It was pretty much even, you know. Accelerator couldn't kill Kakine because he kept regenerating, and that Kakine couldn't kill Accelerator because he kept reflecting his dark matter. This is mainly just a sort of fight of time, which Kakine Kakine had all the time in the world. His power didn't have a limit. Accelerators, yeah, it did. And then him and Muguno didn't really do much to Kakine because he just kept regenerating, you know. I mean, sheesh. Like the whole thing with him and Accelerator was really get development for Accelerator. I already kind of went into that already with Muguno and him and the fight with Kakine. But it ends with Takitsuba using her ability to kind of get rid of Kakine's ability, or that version of him, because he made immense clones, sort of like the Misaka network, but I guess a little bit more elaborate. He died. Well, I'd say die. Like they didn't really die. It's just kind of like, you know, he still has his brain is still intact. He remade a brain, so I'm guessing that he's still alive technically. But yeah, the other version of Kakine, the good Kakine, was made off of him. I guess his true thoughts. I don't know. It was kind of a weird situation that was. But yeah, he's back. He turned into like a little Beetle 5 thing for a friend and sister to just keep hanging on to, and he just kind of appears whenever she's in trouble or whatever. Now, there have been immense little hints where Kakine's dark matter was involved. There was the whole thing with Sample Shoggoth, with the whole parasite thing that was made of dark matter. And then Yujitsu made a piece of dark matter with her projector to kind of piece it to her. Now, I personally think Kakine's going to show back up. I mean, come on. The dude's going to come back, I think 100%. Because The dude's actual brain is still intact. It's somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I think it's in the windowless building. Maybe Tom will run into it or something when he goes in there. I don't know. I think he's gonna come back because I feel like he really needs to finish his business with Accelerator because it's not really finished yet. I'm pretty sure that when he comes back, he's gonna fight the good Kakine, and then they'll have a cool like Majin Buu type fight where he like stuffs the good Kakine inside him or something. I just think he's gonna come back. Like I think there's no denying that. I really do feel like he's gonna come back and be one of the main antagonists again because he was a really good main antagonist. Maybe we'll see Girl in the Dress again at some point. Maybe they'll have a thing going on. Like, oh, Kakine, what happened to you? Or she won't care whatsoever. But, we haven't really seen her in a while. I want to get a name from her. Sheesh. But, I feel like Kakine's going to come back again for the final arc, be involved somehow, because he is the second option to Alistair's plan, and from what seems to be going, I feel like maybe the thing with Accelerator won't work somehow, and then Kakine comes back, and he's like, oh, Kakine, no you were, and Kakine's like, yes, I'm a part of Alistair's plan, and in the last minute, like, he's like, he's like, yeah, you're part of the plan now. You're gonna be sacrificed for my daughter or something like that. And he's like, no, wait, no. And that's when he dies. Or so I'm just guessing with that. Like it just feels like a natural thing. Like that's how he dies, just being sacrificed to be part of Alistair's plan for a vessel. And then his daughter will have a body of a god, or no, not a body of a god, the body of a guy that touched the realm of God. But yeah, well. Oh yeah, there's another part I forgot too. I almost forgot about this. There was a part. Well, he didn't really die when Takitsubo did the thing. I guess the term you could say when he actually died was when he just kind of appeared from his guts, in the Gremlin hideout, and he just kind of makes this big, like a dome around the place. This is my favorite scene. How could I forget about this? When he just gets up and he starts freaking talking down to Althenia. He's like, I don't care who you are. I don't care, And Althenia just freaking grabs his freaking neck and just, like, his body fell dark part, so she shouldn't feel pain. So she just grabs him on, like, the nape of his neck and digs her freaking fingers in him. And she's like, nope. And it just forms back into a ball and she freaking tosses him in the witch's pot like a basketball, But I do think Kakine's still alive regardless. There's pieces of him. There's pieces of him everywhere, sample sagas, and you just right. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, you should still, like, if there was still, like, a piece of it, like, in her body somewhere, and he just popped out or something came from that. Like, yeah, it was connecting Rejector and her, like, actual arm together, or her, like, weird, pop out. Maybe it just went inside her or something, and he's just gonna pop out or something. Like, come on. But I do expect him to come back at some point. Leave your thoughts down below. What do you think of Kakine? You love him as a character? You accept to see him in Index 3? Yeah. What do you think of him as a character? You like him? You think he's going to come back, like me? Because I really do think that. I like him as a villain. He's a really good villain. I feel like when he comes back, things are going to... Because, like, I do feel like when he comes back, he's gonna go for Takitsubo first. Maybe he'll do something. I'm pretty sure he will. When he comes back, he will go after Item. Like, you could say, oh, he's going to go after Accelerator, but I mean, come on, Kakine's smarter than this. He's going to go after Item. He's going to try and kill Takitsubo. Maybe he will. I don't know. Maybe he kills Mugano in the process. Because that would be kind of, they're rivals. It would make sense, I guess, for them to fight. And then we get something from Hamazura from that. I don't know. But yeah, leave your thoughts down below. I'm glad I got to talk about Kakine. I'll probably do Mugano next, considering she's like, I think the last of the 7 level 5s I talked about, besides 6. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.